Okay, folks, Will Diego here, back in beautiful Tijuana. Can't you tell? Okay, thank God for that was a long trip from San Quintin back to Tijuana. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was up at 5 this morning getting ready. Thank God, though. Anyway, crazy Monday afternoon, and things got to change around here. Money's getting tight. You know, this war with Ukraine is having its toll on the United States. So there's a motor cop over there. I can't be seen talking on the phone with the motor cop right there either. So all I'm trying to do is make my movies. Even when I hold the camera down low, I don't want the cops to see me. They'll get me for making my videos even while driving. But anyway, like I was saying, things are getting tight. You know, money's tight, limited. And I'm having problems here at home on the domestic front because basically I'm having to take care of 3 adult people besides myself, okay? And that's got to stop. But you know, it's you can't just, if you care about someone, you can't just drastically stop and cut them off. You know, it's got to be a gradual thing. You care about them, so it's hard to put somebody out on the street. Okay, so I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and wean them off gradually. So anyway, that makes life tough for me too, because I'm paying for everything, and now I gotta sleep in my truck and survive on the streets of Tijuana the best I can until, you know, some of these people find a place to live. So anyway, I don't want to get too personal, but it's a tough situation, folks. You gotta bite the bullet and sometimes sacrifice. Just think of a real survival situation, how bad that would be. So kind of get used to things early ahead of time, so it's not so hard when it really happens. Okay, all right, we're gonna go up the hill here to our house, and then I'll just be waiting down the road from our house to do some negotiating. Put my old training into effect here with my own family. All right, we'll be over here hanging out by the Oxxo. And they call this place the La Postal. Okay, Oxxo de Postal. All right. Okay, folks, I'll be here hanging out till I work things out. All right, talk to you later. Got to make sure I turn off the radio so I don't get copyright infringement. Anyway, here I'm down the street, just waiting for someone to come meet me. But getting a kick out of these little kids riding their bicycles down this little hill. It's a nice little hill to play on. You know, you get a nice little ride. But people don't care if they're playing in the streets or not. Just like the dogs. People don't care. I mean, they care, but they don't. There's no place else for them to play. So they learn to play in the streets and avoid the cars. That's life in most of these third world countries. Okay, folks. Well, Diego here. Same day, same bat channel, same place, almost. Okay, well, try to guess where we're at and where we're going. Palm trees, ocean, nice condos, police on motorcycle. No, that's just a regular guy on a motorcycle that looks like a police. Okay, so these are the nice condos south of Rosarito. Okay, they call them Calafia for some reason, La Calafia. Anyway, there's Touchdown Jesus up there on the cliff. Okay, look at these beautiful waves hitting the cliffs south of Rosarito. Not quite to Puerto Nuevo. Okay, so anyway, and what am I doing here? Alone, of course. All alone again. Lots happened in the last hour or so. It's a better view. Beautiful views over here. Beautiful views. So yeah, I was up there in Tijuana waiting for the little woman, trying to give her some money, trying to give her some advice. She didn't want any advice, but wow, God is so great, you know. It's just unbelievable how, you know, if you say a little prayer in the morning for God to protect you, and you know, you believe in God and Jesus and all, you try to avoid the devil's toys. Okay. Anyway, so the little woman was getting nasty. Things were turning ugly. And I saw an angel in the street. This guy was actually cleaning the street, you know, the streets of Tijuana with a broom and a dustpan in our neighborhood. And I recognize this guy. I've seen him before. Okay. And then a little voice came to me and said, I need to talk to this guy. And so I went down and said, hey, I know you. You know me, right? I've lived in this neighborhood a long time. I'm married to the little Chaparrita woman. He says, oh, yeah, I know you guys. And I said, well, the other morning, my neighbor up there where we live, you know where we live now, the new place. He says, oh, yeah. I said, well, I heard my neighbor stealing stuff out of my truck and ran into his house. And I'm missing stuff in my outboard motor, electric outboard motor. Everything's got, he's like, yeah, I know. And he's looking at me like he knows who is the prime suspect, probably a neighborhood thief. Anyway, I took the 500 pesos that I was going to give to the little woman, and I gave it to him. And I said, can you please have a little talk with these people and try to get my motor back? He goes, yeah, sure, no problem. Turns out his name is Luis. He's the neighborhood enforcer. And I knew it. I recognized him from before. If anybody in the neighborhood has problems, he's one of the guys you go to solve your problems so we can all get along. Without the police, of course. So, oh my God. I gave him 500 pesos, and he knows what to do. And so now I'm going back to Ensenada. It's only 4:30. It's been a long day. Started at 5 this morning in San Quintin. But it's just like God wanted me to go up to Tijuana and take care of this problem. And boom, problem solved. So I'll just I'll go back to Ensenada and just do the best I can. I don't know if I'll go all the way back to San Quintin, but I'll at least there's my wife's attorney for her immigration papers, Abogado Jim from San Diego. Paid him a lot of money so far, or his helpers. Anyway, yeah, just head back to Ensenada. It's kind of like my home stomping ground now. There's nothing in Tijuana for me anymore. It's all the fishing and the bug out places are Ensenada or south. So we'll just wait for the little lady to solve all her problems and figure out what she wants to do. Wow. I'm just so thankful, so happy that I've been listening to God lately. Haven't been drinking, haven't been running around, keeping my nose to the grindstone, trying to live healthy and help other people. God listens to prayers. All right, folks, enjoy this view like I am. It's so beautiful down here in Baja. God's country south. All right, Puerto Nuevo. Okay, folks, guess where we're at now. Still south of Rosarito, headed towards Ensenada. And guess what's going on? I've got the little woman frantically calling me, frantically with some news. And I'm not going to answer her. I said, let me know when you're ready to come down. Join me down south here, my bug out place, okay? And anyway, I'm just guessing. I have no idea. But I told you about that angel that I saw today on my street near the house. Well, I'm just guessing, but I think Luis did some good. I think he talked to the neighbors. Probably just, they know him. They know he's the big boss of the neighborhood. He probably just said, hey, the gringo wants his motor back. I'm just guessing, folks. I have no idea, but I'm thinking that he got my motor back and called the little lady and turned it back to her. And she's probably just so excited and thankful and just wants to give me the good news. Anyway, it's just a hunch, but you never know. But, if you don't, well, this is about an analogy, but if you don't play the lottery, you'll never win. But I don't think God wants us gambling anyway. Those dollars add up. They could better help the poor people, Anyway, I was just sitting here thinking, how many times in my 66 years have I had a little help from God, a little intuition from God helping me, okay? And it's happened at least twice before that I can kind of remember. maybe 3 times with my first wife, way back in college and Boy Scouts and all that. She and my sister were hiding in my tent at Boy Scout camp, and for some reason I just had a feeling that somebody was in there, and so I just kind of pushed on the canvas tent door, and yep, they were trying to surprise me, and I surprised them. And, you know, who knows? That could have been a clue for my first wife, Stephanie. That she's the one, you know, the special one. And you got to admit, we had some great kids. Boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. Just fantastic. 6 kids in 6 years. Unfortunately, 2 of them died. One boy died shortly after birth, so he didn't even have a chance. He was born sick. And then my daughter, my second daughter, well, she was the oldest daughter. My oldest was a boy, and then she was next. She died of cancer when she was only 19. So I've had some tragedies to overcome in my life too, and God has helped me get through everything. Matter of fact, thinking of, well, boy, I got more stories, but the 2 that come to mind right now are the in the FBI. You know, I was just an average FBI agent, probably lacked a lot of experience that some of the other guys had, but at the same time, you know, I was tenacious, working hard. And one night, it was late, you know, 9-10 o'clock at night. I'm out in a snowstorm in North Idaho, you know, coming back from chasing down some leads and stuff. And I said, I'm going to stop by this wanted fugitive place that we kind of had a lead that they might stop by there to visit relatives, and a certain vehicle and everything. And wouldn't you know it, boom, it was there late at night in the middle of a snowstorm. And these people were on the top 10 most wanted, you know. They were recent additions, nothing really, you know, old and fantastic, but just they were wanted, you know, enough to where when I called it in, I said, hey, you know, the vehicle's here. I'm sitting at the neighbor's house watching the vehicle. I said, okay, don't move. We're flying up. So when they got the SWAT team on an airplane to fly from Boise, Idaho up to North Idaho, that's a pretty big deal. And sure enough, we took them down without incident. So that was a big deal, feather in my cap. And then the other time was, it was on a Sunday afternoon. Nobody was working, you know. I'm home with my family. And my informant called and said, hey, these white supremacists are building a bomb right now. They're buying all the parts at the local hardware store to build a pipe bomb. And, you know, we kind of had information that they were going to bomb some targets, racist targets, you know. They wanted a all-white supremacy nation, and they had their targets. So, you know, I jumped in my own personal van, drove over to the hardware store where my informant said they would be, and I started taking pictures from my own personal van in the back, you know, watching them and taking pictures. And I got them coming out of the store and everything, their vehicles, everything, telephoto lens, close-ups of their faces. And then after they left, I went into the hardware store and I got the receipts, the duplicate receipts of all the goodies that they had bought to make pipe bombs. And that was the beginning of a really good case where we actually prevented a bombing or two and some pretty high priority targets over in Seattle area. So You can read about it if you researched under the Order 2. The first order was Robert Matthews and those guys, and this was a smaller copycat order that they called Order 2. So both those times I had extra intuition that told me, hey, this is important. It's time to act. Okay? And, okay, just like today with this angel that appeared on my street and, the enforcer. But the big thing, folks, is I still have an intuition that something is going to happen. Something big is going to happen in Southern California. I don't know why, but Southern California to me just seems like a huge target. There's lots and lots of people all the way from the border up to LA, past LA. And there's a lot of military targets in there. And it just, it's like a death trap where if something big happened, all these millions of people would be trying to get out of there in a hurry, and they're not going to be able to leave. It's just the natural boundaries, the mountains and the ocean and Mexico to the south. Just like I keep saying, Mexico's not going to open their border to all these millions of people wanting to leave Southern California. But if my intuition's right, I'm already going to be here. Okay, I'm already going to have my bug out plan, my place where I'm going to go. All I've got to do is be south of the border when something does happen, and go even further south to my bug out area. And I don't think it's going to be World War III and Armageddon and all that. I just think it's going to be something pretty big. Maybe North Korea is going to sneak something in. Of course, we've got our radars watching every move they make, everything. But I'm just saying it's going to be something like that. Maybe a terrorist group gets a hold of a dirty bomb, or somebody gets lucky and something pretty big goes off in Southern California. All right? Then it's going to be, all hell's going to break loose with the panic. That's all I'm saying is that there's going to be rioting and looting because food is limited on the grocery store shelves and all that. And, the rioting and panic and stuff will last a few weeks. I think the U.S. will deal with the instigators, whoever caused the event. I think our intelligence and our military might can deal with that threat pretty easily, and I don't think it'll ever happen again. And hopefully it doesn't draw Russia and China into the mix. We deal with the people that caused the event, and then things will die down. But it's going to take months, for things to be, get back to normal. And that's all I'm saying, folks, is that I'm already going to be in my bug out location down here with my contacts and fishing and everything. It's just a feeling I have, folks. It's like the other feelings I've had. It's just like, call it a hunch or call it God talking to you. You've got to listen for God to speak to you. Okay, folks? Just listen to that little voice. That's what if. Check it out. Okay, call me crazy. I'm no Nostradamus. I'm just a little old Richwold retired law enforcement officer living my retirement dream in Baja California. God willing. God bless. Take care.